Welcome to the Business Services Café by ABSL, powered by BrandFizz. I'm Anita Svestovic, and I will be your host for this recharging coffee break. We are here to bring the thriving business services sector closer to you. And in each episode, we welcome guests who are the most influential leaders of the industry. They are bringing in topics which are the freshly brewed insights and trends from the market, some espresso shots, and some sip and think advices for takeaway. In today's episode, our guest is Ivanova Evgenia, who is the head of recruitment, organizational development, and compensation at Wizz Air. Very warm welcome.
Thank you, Anita, and thank you for having me here.
You chose, I think, for most of the business service leaders, a very, very important topic is how to grow the next generation of leaders in the company. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, settle in, and lay back and enjoy the expert insights and the conversation. So let's get started. Before we go into the topic of today, we would like to get to know you better.
Of course.
And what would be a better question to start with is that how do you typically drink your coffee?
I like my coffee strong with a little bit of milk. Always in the morning, otherwise I cannot leave the flat.
Don't talk to me before I have my coffee.
Something like that.
Yeah. And I guess in your position, you have a couple of coffee meetings a day. If you can let us in to have a sneak peek, what are the topics? What are your coffee meetings mostly about?
You are very right. So as an HR leader, I try to stay close to the business, to the organization, and understand what are the struggles, issues, and as well as positive points. So my coffee meetings are usually with other people managers or with other leaders, and we talk about employee development, and we talk about what makes employee being successful and thriving in our organization.
Mm-hmm. What are your barista level skills that you need in your position?
I would say that my barista level skills are about mixing the right ingredients to bring the talent out of each employee. And as an HR as well, we need to be emotionally intelligent, we need to actively listen, and we need to be curious. So the same way as a barista would like to know their customer tastes, we also need to know what motivates our employees. And it's not one size fits all. So every employee is an individual person with their own motivation and aspirations.
And what experiences have helped you in brewing success in your career?
Before joining Wizz Air, I used to work for an FMCG, which was equally fast, dynamic, and entrepreneurial. So I learned that I need to change, I need to be challenged, and also, I need to be agile. So definitely, as an HR leader, I need to be able to adapt myself to the situation. I need to stay focused on the solutions and how solutions can drive the business, even if everything around is moving very fast.
Mm-hmm. When everything is so fast moving, it's a great asset for an organization having a stable program that is a pipeline into the future.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also what you mentioned me earlier, that 8 years with Wizz Air, that was also one of the things that you were making sure that you have this stability in the future pipeline. How would you describe the leadership culture of Wizz Air today? In one sentence or one word, what is the leadership potential?
Leadership culture at Wizz Air is all about ownership and agility. So even though, of course, we are 21-year-old organization, we grew as a company. We're almost 10,000 employees nowadays, and we have our hierarchy. I have to say that leaders are approachable. They're not afraid to roll their sleeves, to listen to people and get things done. We are also very much performance-driven culture and oriented towards internal development and talent promotion. So I'm not gonna lie, it's high energy, high expectation organization, but there is the possibility to grow and develop yourself if you are motivated and aspire to do it.
What motivated Wizz Air to invest in a structured way of building the future of leaders in the organization?
I think it comes also from the fact that in Hungary we are the only airline present on the market. So often for very technical positions we struggle to find ready talent on the market. So we need to invest in developing this talent, growing it throughout the organization. And this is how the idea about the WIS management program was born. It was born around 2015. So it is a few years before I joined the company, but that was the idea behind. So how can we get young, motivated people out of university who really can start working at an airline? They can get addicted because actually it is an addictive. It's an addiction. Once you get into aviation, it's very difficult to leave it. And how we can develop them and motivate them, grow them, teach them, so they can be the next generation of leaders.
Were there any clear business need or any visionary choice behind?
Of course, I mean, we need talent. We need people who have the WIS culture, who have the WIS mindset in order to make the company successful in the future. So definitely that's the business idea and kind of the business need behind it. When I joined the company in 2017, the organization looked quite different. We had around 74 aircrafts. Very soon we will be receiving our 250th aircraft, 50. So this is a significant growth in less than 10 years. And also our organization looked much leaner and much flatter. So I have to say that we were very often forced into going to the external market and looking for talent just because we did not have the natural progression in the organization. And this is how the idea about the WIS management training program was born, that we needed this initial layer of students to come into the organization, to get the business and then grow with it. And we have quite good success stories, so I can share later as we progress.
You will share with us. And now we are turning into the brood insights part of our conversation to elaborate on the topic. Yes. And especially in the business services sector, many companies talk about future-ready talent pool. How does Wizz Air talk this? What you talked about, okay, we have a problem, we need a solution, this concept into action. So how is it working?
So let me elaborate on the WIS management training program. It is open to students who are actively enrolled at a university here in Hungary. Why Hungary? Because this is our headquarters, so we have most of our positions centralized here in Budapest. We have also office in Malta and in Luton. So we are of course looking at the possibility to extend the program to those markets, but at this point of time it's purely Budapest centralized. Students have the possibility to join us alongside their regular studies, so we are quite flexible with university commitments, and we also give them the possibility to set their work schedule, of course depending also on the expectations of the business. But it gives them the possibility to really work at a multinational organization alongside their studies. Even though when they apply for a specific position, this is not the one which is set in stone and the one that they will do throughout their entire journey with us. So we give them the possibility to rotate. Actually, it's not a possibility, it's more of a mandatory part of the program. So after 12 months in one department, they are asked to rotate. And this gives them the possibility to explore other areas of the organization. So you join HR, you are not necessarily stuck into HR. You can move to any other department. You can go from commercial into operations or operations to commercial, which really allows the younger generation the ability to explore and see different areas of the business before they make their final choice where they want to start their active employment.
So developing the future pool of leaders is about not determining them in one, area or one section of the big organization, but also giving them possibility to expose. Yes. And that requires also a lot of flexibility from the leaders, I guess, who are dealing with them. Yes. And what skills you believe that the tomorrow's leaders need especially, as you mentioned, dynamic, service-driven environment. Yes. Aviation is fast, especially supporting, like your office is basically the business service center for the big operation to happen. What is the skill? What is the mindset they need?
What we need to know is that the airline industry is dynamic by nature, and I think the last 5-6 years really show this. We started with the pandemic, followed by, unfortunately, all of the geopolitical conflicts happening around the world. And this is affecting on day-to-day basis aviation. So we need to be fast, we need to be able to capture the moment for making business decisions. So I have to say that we're looking for people who are entrepreneurial, who are not afraid of challenges, who are not afraid of change, who can stay agile and really think outside of the box. Mm-hmm. So be innovative.
Yeah. And how do you balance? Because I think, the entrepreneurial and this kind of like the rotation itself, but still, you mentioned also you're a huge company by now. So yes. Some had a structured program and as well kind of giving the freedom to explore and innovate. It seems contradicting, but maybe it's not. How is it in practice?
Well, students work alongside full-time employees, so it's not that we give them just the boring administrative job to do. They are actually integral.
I also have a preconception about being an intern. Yes. That, I go into a company and I'm doing
You file papers.
Or order entry or something which is like an easily delegate or easier for leaders to delegate because it's like, more administrative, as you mentioned. So that may be a misconception.
I mean, we try to elevate for sure the program. So administration is there. I
job.
Also do from time to time administration. Yeah. So that's part of one small part of the job, but at the same time the with management trainee is able to deliver projects, so they have the end-to-end ownership on different bigger tasks within the team, and also sometimes projects are being assigned to them for which they have the full ownership and responsibility, which actually gives them the possibility to feel as part of the organization as much as possible, to feel as part of the team as well. And later on, when we have the possibility to hire them full-time, so once they graduate their studies, it actually makes the transition way smoother into a regular employee, because they've already done the job, they already know how we function as an organization. Mm-hmm. If they want to stay, which is what we are aiming for, this is of course the best. So no surprises, like when you land at a completely new place. This is something that we avoid in the situation, because they've already been with us for a while.
Mm-hmm. And they have direct connection with the head of the department. So most of them, they work side by side with them.
Yes.
What is the perception of the program by the leaders?
The leaders love it. And you mentioned the head of the department. It's not only the head. So I spoke earlier that with the growth of the company, we also became more complex or more heavy as an organization, but we still maintain our very informal work environment. So it's easy, even for management trainees, to reach out to the chief officers, have a chat with them, present their ideas when they work on a project. So there is no formal hierarchy. And our leadership loves it. I had maybe a month ago a conversation with our executive committee, which consists of the CEO and the chief officers, where we spoke about the program, we spoke about the results of the program. And even though I mentioned that the program is active since 2015, I focus only on the last 2 years, because this is when, let's say, the biggest inflow of trainees happened. We have approximately 25 people who joined us full-time. Only one decided to leave. So this is like 4% attrition, which I think nowadays is something amazing. And we are very happy. We have very success stories of people starting from specialists, growing through junior manager roles. We even have one of the former with management trainees who is now head of function as well. So I think it's a successful story. We like it. Trainees like it. So we just want to continue doing it.
And what is the biggest lesson you learned throughout this process? Because now it's soon 10 years
Yes.
since the program exists, and you followed this and you became the kind of guardian angel of the program in the past 8 years. What is the biggest lesson you have learned from implementing, evolving, when developing this program?
You mentioned evolving. I think that's the most important. So it's not a program that should remain fixed. We need to listen to feedback both coming from the trainees and from the organization, and adjust it when needed, because it's a fast-changing industry. So we need to be able to adapt our internal programs, policies, processes to fit into the changing reality. And it's the same with the management training program.
Yeah, and when everything is changing, and so there is huge, sometimes recruitment demand, and then it's so easy that such a prestigious program becomes maybe just an internship to quickly hire interns. How did you manage that? Did you have experience with that?
We had a moment when we let things a bit looser in this respect. So yes, probably it was pre-COVID, if I remember well, when we kind of set the standards on a lower level, and it really turned into rather a regular internship program and more of an admin job. But then we needed to get back to where the program should stand. So yes, it's easy to fall back into also organizational needs of, okay, we have this very manual process, we need to get someone to do the job. But in the end, it's exactly the HR role to safeguard the principles and to safeguard the policy. So I would say that in the past 5 years, we are very strict.
Yeah, and that's how, the business need is to develop the future leaders where the attrition is so low, and out of 25, 24 are staying at the company. They are growing up to the function head roles. So that's the biggest also business case, let's say, why it's important to also keep the prestige and keep the quality of such a program, because when it's a future leadership program, then it needs more nurturing, both from HR, both from the leaders, but then the return on investment is there.
Yes, absolutely.
In a couple of years.
And I'm very happy to say that we have really the buy-in from the business. So they're happy with the program. They don't mind this rotation, because actually the rotation can be seen also a bit as an interruption, that, okay, I have this person in my team and now I need to let him or her go somewhere else and get a new person that I need to train. But it's not a negative thing, because at the end of the day, people have different experience and different exposures, and then we can have an even stronger pool of talents coming from the bottom up.
Yeah. And looking ahead, I think in the business services sector, it's a very relevant question that will programs like this become a norm or remain a bit like, differentiator or not so common?
My opinion is that they will turn into a norm, mainly coming from the fact that, putting aside the organizational benefits and needs, but just looking at the new generation who are out there to explore. It's not the same loyalty that we had several generations back, that when you join an organization, you retire there, or you stick for 5-10 years. This is not the case anymore. So people want to explore, they want to see different companies, different industries. They might want to switch between organizations for profit and those who are not for profit. And actually those kind of trainee and internship programs give them the possibility that they enter an organization, they work at a specific area, they see if they like it or not. If they like it, they're more than welcome to stay. If they don't like it, it's an easy opportunity also to move somewhere else.
Yeah. And especially that I think more and more responsibility is on the private sector to balance the theoretical knowledge that is taught to the generation at the institutes, let's say universities or higher educational institutions, but there are certain soft skills, certain skills that somehow the educational system is a little bit lacking behind to provide, in a structural way to the graduates. And it's also kind of like taking a responsibility as a company to provide the space and the environment to pick up those skills and become future leaders of the company. Before we conclude and we take away or draw the conclusions of today's episode, I would have also some espresso shot questions to you. What would be leadership in one word for you?
Empowerment. I think leaders should be able to trust their teams. I don't think control and micromanagement is what works, and if we don't trust our team, then we probably hire the wrong people. So definitely empowerment.
And the most important quality you look for in future leaders?
Ownership. Again, I mean, what we spoke about, ownership, agility. We are looking for people who don't wait for directions, ready to take the lead. They are ready to explore, be curious, and make the company a better place.
Structured learning or on-the-job challenge?
I'm for the on-the-job challenge. To be honest, I mean, you were reflecting on the education and university. I have business degree. It was more marketing related. Never expected I would end up at HR. So whatever I learned,
engineering.
Whatever we learned, it's on the job.
A leadership practice you believe every company should adopt?
It's all about people management in the end of the day. So I think continuous feedback. People need to know what they do right, what they do not so well. I think recognition is an important part of it. And of course, constructive feedback, so we can all improve and do better.
And now we arrive to the sip and think part of our episode, and we will sum up the key takeaways focusing on the future. What do you hope? What is the biggest lesson or the most important listeners take away from today's episode?
For me, the biggest lesson is that nowadays it's not so much about the hard skills. It's more about the soft skills. It's more about the attitude and the mindset of the people. Everything else can be learned on the job.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk about future, and it was great to talk about the future of leaders, especially in your organization. And thank you so much for inspiring others as well to build a structured program that is serving the business needs and also empowering the future generation to become great leaders.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
And that wraps up today's episode at the Business Services Café. A big thank you, Ivana, Evgenia, for sharing such valuable insights. It's a huge impact on the industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, then subscribe, leave a comment, and also don't forget that we continue and stay tuned for the next episode also at the Business Service Café. See you next time.